We are pleased to welcome you to the Healthy Life Care channel, which primarily focuses on the health of those aged 60 and above. We want to alert you of potentially beneficial information we possess. Seniors, stop taking these 3 vitamins. The shocking impact on your leg strength. Could your regular supplements be inadvertently compromising your leg strength? It may seem implausible, however, for several elders, it is really a reality. Each morning, many older folks use their daily vitamins, certain they are enhancing their health, increasing energy, or safeguarding their cardiovascular well-being. What if some medications are insidiously causing more damage than benefit? If you have seen a decline in leg strength, difficulty rising from a chair, or increased apprehension while ascending stairs, it may not just be attributable to age. Your supplement regimen may be a contributing factor. Leg strength is essential for maintaining independence, reducing hazardous falls, and ensuring mobility with advancing age. This video discloses 3 prevalent vitamins that may be covertly undermining your strength and, crucially, what actions you may do to maintain resilience, stability, and confidence. Let us examine this more closely. Firstly, the inconspicuous muscular diminisher, vitamin E. We will begin with a vitamin you may not have anticipated appearing on this list. Vitamin E. For decades, it has been promoted as a miraculous vitamin. It is likely that you are aware of its benefits for cardiovascular health, skin protection, and potential anti-aging effects. Consequently, vitamin E is often included in multivitamins, individual supplements, and other anti-aging formulations. Numerous seniors consume it every day, sometimes without contemplation. It seems innocuous. Ultimately, it is only a vitamin, correct? However, it is important to note that not all vitamins are safe in elevated levels, and vitamin E is particularly one that may insidiously cause damage when used in excess, especially among older persons. Vitamin E is a lipophilic vitamin, indicating that the body reserves it in adipose tissues and the liver. In contrast to water-soluble vitamins, such vitamin C or B vitamins, which are excreted via urine when unnecessary, fat-soluble vitamins persist in the body over time. This may result in dangerous levels, particularly if one consumes high-dose supplements daily without awareness. This is when the apprehension really starts. Excessive accumulation of vitamin E in the body might disrupt critical functions in muscles and neurons. It may specifically impair neuromuscular function, indicating that the link between nerves and muscles is not operating well. For an individual already experiencing natural muscle mass decline due to aging, this presents a significant issue. You may gradually see a decline in leg strength or a deterioration in balance. Typically, it does not occur simultaneously. The indications are nuanced and often overlooked initially. You may find it more difficult to rise from your preferred chair, or you could feel somewhat less stable when navigating the supermarket store. One may attribute it to senescence or mild exhaustion. However, the underlying issue is that your muscles are deteriorating inside, and vitamin E may be significantly contributing to this phenomenon. Another sign to monitor is weariness during routine activity, particularly in the legs and hips. Your muscles may fatigue more rapidly than before. Furthermore, as vitamin E possesses anticoagulant properties, those currently on anticoagulant medicines have an elevated risk. This heightens the risk of bruising, internal hemorrhaging, and possibly severe repercussions from falls, even from little incidents such as tripping over a rug or misstepping. The problem is further exacerbated by frequent misdiagnosis or oversight. Many individuals assume that concerns such as instability, lethargy, or rapid fatigue are just aspects of aging. However, they may really pertain to anything as little and straightforward as a daily supplement that is no longer suitable for your age or health condition. What alternatives are available? Vitamin E remains essential. However, it is not necessary to consume it in elevated levels, nor is it required to get it from a supplement. Nature offers an abundance of foods rich in vitamin E that the body can assimilate more effectively. Excellent choices include sunflower seeds, almonds, spinach, and avocados. These natural sources provide your body with essential nutrients without the danger of excess. Additionally, seeing your physician is prudent, particularly if you have been consuming large doses of vitamin E for an extended period. Inquire if it remains required. Submit your supplements for a collective evaluation. Many individuals exceed the suggested amount solely based on labels indicating heart healthy or immune support. Additionally, if you are using various supplements, ensure that you aggregate all sources of vitamin E. It may be concealed inside your multivitamin, your skincare product, and your daily cognitive enhancer. The aggregate sum may exceed acceptable limits without your awareness. In summary, vitamin E is not detrimental, but excessive intake may subtly diminish your muscular strength, particularly in the legs. This may impact your equilibrium, mobility, and autonomy, elements we all want to safeguard as we age. Rather of relying on high-dose tablets, consider transitioning to whole meals and see your physician about your supplement regimen. Your legs will express gratitude, as will your future self. Secondly, the depleter of bone and muscle, vitamin A. Let us go to another vitamin that several seniors rely on for health support. Vitamin A. It has been extensively lauded for its advantages to eyesight, dermal health, and immunological function. It is a fundamental component of several multivitamins, fortified foods, and traditional medicines such as cod liver oil. It seems to be healthful, does it not? However, the reality is that, like to vitamin E, vitamin A is fat-soluble, indicating that it is not readily excreted from the body. Rather, it accumulates subtly and progressively until it begins to do harm without your awareness. The human body is remarkable, but with aging, its nutrition processing diminishes in efficiency. The liver's functionality diminishes, muscle recovery is prolonged, and bone density naturally decreases. This indicates a reduced margin for error with supplementation, since much vitamin A might disrupt the equilibrium adversely. A primary issue with excessive vitamin A is its impact on bone health, particularly in the hips and legs, which are essential for ambulation, balance, and maintaining independence. Research indicates that elevated vitamin A levels are associated with increased bone loss. For elderly individuals, even a little reduction in bone density might have significant repercussions. A little miscalculation, a trip on a carpet, or a fall in the kitchen might result in a fracture that alters your life significantly. However, the risk extends beyond your bones. Muscular strength may also be undermined. Numerous seniors report an increasing sensation of weight or discomfort in their hips or thighs, particularly after prolonged walking or standing. These symptoms are often dismissible. We often rationalize, "I'm merely aging," or "I may have exerted myself excessively yesterday." However, what if it is not a consequence of aging? What if the vitamin you take each morning, believing it to be beneficial, is really detrimental? Vitamin A presents a challenge due to its many sources, which may accumulate rapidly. Cod liver oil is inherently rich in vitamin A. Incorporating a multivitamin, a fortified morning cereal, and maybe liver into your diet may lead to inadvertently over the required intake. Due to the accumulation of vitamin A in the body, prolonged daily intake over months or years may result in chronic toxicity. Be vigilant for the following warning signs: persistent discomfort in the hips or upper legs, weariness after brief walks, and an increasing aversion to using stairs or walking, not due to fear or apathy, but because your legs no longer feel as they once did. These manifestations are not only indicators of age, they may be your body's subtle indication that something is amiss. What is the solution? Firstly, it is crucial to recognize that vitamin A remains necessary. Nevertheless, the kind and quantity are vital. For the majority, particularly the elderly, the more secure variant is beta-carotene, the phytochemical present in vibrant vegetables such as carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, and kale. In contrast to retinol, the active form of vitamin A included in supplements and animal products, beta-carotene does not accumulate to hazardous amounts. Your body turns it into vitamin A alone when necessary, providing an inherent safety precaution. If you are now using a vitamin A supplement, particularly one that is retinol-based or derived from cod liver oil, it may be prudent to reassess your intake. Are you get vitamin A via additional supplements or fortified foods? It is effortless to inadvertently double or treble quantities, which constitutes the inherent danger. A little alteration might significantly impact your energy, strength, and bone health. Additionally, contemplate requesting a vitamin A blood test from your physician, particularly if you have been supplementing for an extended period. The majority of individuals get normal laboratory tests that often do not assess vitamin levels unless explicitly asked. A nutritional panel may indicate whether your vitamin A levels are approaching a hazardous threshold. The essential point is clear but significant. An increase is not always advantageous, particularly for fat-soluble vitamins, such as A. A health practice that formerly seemed beneficial may suddenly be jeopardizing the same elements you want to safeguard: your bones, muscles, and overall mobility. Rather of depending on high-dose supplements, prioritize entire meals. Obtain your nutrients from your diet rather than from supplements. It is not just more secure, it is also the manner in which your body was created to flourish. Thirdly, the neurotoxin, vitamin B6. Let us now discuss a vitamin often promoted as an enhancer of energy and cognitive function, vitamin B6. It is included in several products designed for seniors, including multivitamins, energy formulations, cognitive enhancement capsules, and mood-boosting supplements. Vitamin B6 is often seen as innocuous due to its water-soluble nature, in contrast to vitamins A and E. Typically, it is said that water-soluble vitamins are safe due to the body's ability to eliminate excess quantities. However, the unexpected aspect is that vitamin B6 may accumulate to hazardous amounts, particularly if many supplements containing it are used. When it occurs, it does not only induce modest side effects, it may inflict significant, enduring harm to your nerves, especially those in your legs and feet. One of the most perilous consequences of excessive B6 is a condition known as peripheral neuropathy. This disorder affects the nerves responsible for feeling and movement in the extremities. It often begins imperceptibly. You may notice a tingling sensation in your toes or intermittent minor numbness. Initially, you may dismiss it or attribute it to inadequate circulation. However, with the passage of time, that tingling sensation may proliferate. You may increasingly have a sensation of your legs being numb or a disconnection of your feet from the ground like before. Some individuals describe it as a sensation of a dead leg, as if their legs no longer belong to them completely. Individuals observe that they are stumbling over non-existent obstacles or that their stride is somewhat unsteady while traversing the room. Stairs become more daunting, and a fear of falling may begin to manifest. This kind of nerve injury not only impacts your physical body, but also undermines your confidence, feeling of agency, and independence. It is distressing, since several individuals exhibiting these symptoms believe they are only a consequence of aging. Alternatively, they apprehend the possibility of having an illness, such as multiple sclerosis or diabetic neuropathy. However, the actual perpetrator may reside in their bathroom cabinet, a B6 supplement they have been using for years. What is an excessive amount? The maximum recommended daily intake for B6 is typically 100 milligrams. However, several over-the-counter supplements surpass this threshold, particularly if multiple products are used concurrently. A daily multivitamin may include 20 to 40 milligrams, an energy booster contributes an additional 50 milligrams, and a memory support supplement adds another 30 milligrams. Before long, you consistently exceed the safe threshold each day. The most challenging aspect is that the harm resulting from B6 toxicity may persist even after discontinuation of its usage. Certain individuals may suffer from long-term or permanent nerve injury, leading to persistent numbness, impaired coordination, or chronic weakness in the legs. That is an exorbitant cost for anything intended to provide energy or clarity. What measures can you do to ensure your safety? Initially, examine all your supplements. Examine all labels, including those on products designated for memory, energy, or mood, in addition to your multivitamin. You may be astonished by the substantial presence of vitamin B6 in your daily regimen. Secondly, it is important to note that the most optimal source of B6 is whole food. Your body is far more adept at processing nutrients from natural sources such as bananas, avocados, potatoes, turkey, and chickpeas. These meals provide an adequate quantity, sufficient to sustain your nervous system without jeopardizing it. If you are feeling numbness, tingling, or unusual sensations in your legs or feet, See your physician and request a blood test to assess your vitamin B6 levels. The majority of individuals never consider inquiring about this, and regrettably, standard blood tests often do not include it unless specifically requested. Early detection of a B6 excess may significantly impact the reversal of symptoms and safeguard your long-term mobility. Finally, do not assume that an increase equates to improvement. It is simple to succumb to that allure, particularly when supplements are advertised with claims such as energize your mind, enhance mental clarity, or elevate your mood. However, with regard to B6, excessive intake may subtly undermine your vitality, equilibrium, and confidence in your own body. Our legs serve not just for ambulation, but also as the cornerstone of our autonomy. They facilitate our existence, enabling us to buy, prepare meals, travel, connect with loved ones, and maintain dignity. Our greatest desire is to prevent that which we adopted for assistance from ultimately depriving us of it. Therefore, take a minute to reassess. Examine your everyday intake, evaluate the need, and engage in a discussion with your healthcare physician about your supplement regimen. Knowledge is power. Hence, a deeper comprehension of our bodily intake enhances our ability to safeguard the vitality, mobility, and autonomy that sustain us. The overarching significance is that the strength of your legs is important. As we age, it is common to attribute every discomfort, misstep, and instance of exhaustion to the process of aging. It is what we are informed, what we anticipate, and what we often acquiesce to. What if that narrative is not wholly accurate? What if the muscular weakening, leg tiredness, or balance difficulties you are experiencing are not only the result of aging, but rather the subtle adverse consequences of the supplements you have relied upon for your health? Gradual deterioration of muscle and nerve function does not just result from aging. Occasionally, it is induced or exacerbated by the excessive use of certain vitamins, including vitamin E, vitamin A, and vitamin B6. These nutrients are essential in appropriate quantities. Nevertheless, when consumed in excess over extended periods, they may insidiously undermine leg strength, step coordination, and balance confidence. This indicates that what you have perceived as a typical aspect of aging may, in fact, be avoidable harm resulting not from the passage of time, but from habitual behavior. A seemingly beneficial everyday medication may be gradually deteriorating your muscles or impairing the nerves in your legs without notice. However, the positive aspect is that by identifying the indications promptly, we may regain control. Evaluating your supplements, asking pertinent inquiries, and implementing little educated adjustments might safeguard your strength and autonomy for years ahead. Your legs facilitate your autonomy. Do not allow superfluous supplements to detract from your well-being. While aging is unavoidable, the manner in which you age is under your control. Having become aware of the concealed risks associated with certain vitamins, you could be contemplating, what actions should I take next? The positive aspect is that there is no cause for alarm or to discard every bottle in your cupboard. However, it is essential to undertake deliberate measures to safeguard your health, leg strength, and autonomy. Step 1. Evaluate each supplement you consume. Review any vitamins, multivitamins, or health supplements you consume regularly or intermittently. Examine the labels. Inquire inside, what does this contain? Is it really necessary? Monitor for vitamin E, vitamin A, particularly in the form of retinol, and vitamin B6. You may be astonished by the number of items that contain them, sometimes in substantial quantities. Step 2. Verify the dose. Numerous seniors inadvertently exceed the authorized daily dosages, not due to a single pill, but rather via the cumulative effect of several medications. A multivitamin, an energy pill, and a fortified cereal may all lead to elevated levels. Understand the whole of your consumption. Step 3. Consult the appropriate physician. Not all physicians are specialized in geriatric care. Seek a clinician who comprehends the unique requirements of older folks, such as a geriatrician or a functional medicine physician. Please bring your list of supplements. Inform them of any leg weakness, balance difficulties, or tingling sensations you have encountered. Step 4. Request a nutritional panel. Request a blood analysis that include vitamin levels, particularly vitamins A, E, and B6. These are not consistently included in standard laboratory tests, hence specificity is essential. Your physician can assess whether you are accumulating excess and advise you on safe adjustments. Step 5. Prioritize food first. Whenever feasible, get your nutrition from whole foods. Your body more effectively absorbs vitamins from natural sources such as fruits, vegetables, lean meats, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. These meals are inherently balanced and far safer than excessive supplementation. Recall this pertains not to fear, but to empowerment. Your physical strength and mobility are significant. By implementing some deliberate modifications, you may safeguard your health, maintain physical activity, and sustain independence for several more years. A further concealed danger is idleness. Despite meticulously regulating your vitamin consumption, there exists another insidious factor that might compromise your leg strength, which is a behavior many engage in unconsciously: excessive sitting. In contemporary society, extended periods of sitting have become commonplace, whether for reading, viewing television, or even relaxing between tasks. Although adopting a leisurely approach may seem like the most prudent choice, particularly as we get older, inactivity has significant repercussions. Prolonged sitting leads to atrophy of the leg muscles due to inactivity. As those muscles deteriorate, your equilibrium is compromised, making routine actions such as rising from a chair or ascending stairs more challenging and perhaps hazardous. Simultaneously, inactivity leads to bone deterioration, particularly in the hips and legs, increasing the likelihood of fractures from mild falls. A gym membership or rigorous exercise regimen is unnecessary for resistance. Consistency and mobility are of paramount importance. A brief ambulation about the residence, mild chair workouts, or several minutes of leg stretches will maintain muscular power, enhance circulation, and safeguard your bones. Merely standing and ambulating every hour has a significant impact. Consider movement as a kind of therapy. Exercise prudence with supplements and be deliberate with the frequency of leg use. Your body is designed for movement and flourishes with activity. If you are prioritizing your health via diet, remember to engage in physical activity. It is one of the most straightforward and effective methods to maintain strength, stability, and autonomy as one ages. Each step is significant, quite literally. A communication from a fellow senior. Allow me to address you not as a physician or an authority, but as an individual who has traversed a considerable journey and observed much during it. I have experienced decades of transformation, seen the world's evolution, and recognized that age is not the adversary. Rather, it is the preconceived notions we have about it that impede our progress. I have seen acquaintances, neighbors, and even family members gradually diminish in strength, balance, and ultimately independence. Not due to a severe disease, but as a result of misguided behaviors they believed were beneficial. They consumed the same vitamins daily, relying on the label, unaware that the tablets they thought were safeguarding them were gradually undermining their leg strength and diminishing their stability. I implore you to be vigilant, attentive, and judicious. You have lived extensively, thus live robustly. Heed your body's signals. Do not overlook the little alterations, the uncertainties, the fatigue in your legs. These matters are significant. Your body is conveying subtle messages before it resorts to a more forceful expression. You have acquired the entitlement to proceed with assurance, to confront each day independently, steadfast and dignified. Do not let antiquated habits or unacknowledged errors to deprive you of it. You retain authority. You still possess time. Exercise agency, inquire critically, reevaluate the information received, and bear in mind, the objective transcends mere longevity. It is to enhance the quality of life, with autonomy, intent, and resilience. Your leg strength signifies your autonomy. It is what sustains your momentum, stability, and autonomy. You now possess the information to safeguard it. Utilize this information to examine your everyday routine more closely. It is never too late to implement a change that enhances your health and future. Incremental actions, such as evaluating your supplements or increasing daily physical activity, may assist in restoring your confidence, equilibrium, and mobility. I would appreciate your feedback. Which vitamin will you examine today? Convey a singular insight you have acquired in the comments section. If you found this helpful, subscribe for further health advice tailored just for seniors. Prolonged life should also include enhanced vitality.